G'day and welcome to this week's video. My name is Robert Gowdy from Consortium Private Wealth. Still working from home at the moment, but hope to be getting back to the office in the coming weeks. Doing a bit of late night browsing, it might have been early morning browsing actually, and read an article where Microsoft Teams has been deployed across the South Australian Health Services. Now, I'll just give you a quick look at the web page. Now, this is through IT News. It's probably not a website I've gone to very much at all, but you can see what Microsoft have done here. And obviously have very substantial contracts with government, but they've deployed Microsoft Teams, which would clearly include obviously part of the Microsoft Office 365 package, and they've deployed that to 40,000 staff members in a single week. Now, the interesting point here is that it is scale is something we've spoken about. It's something that we look for in the businesses that we invest into, and the ability to develop a product that then develop once and then improve over time, but then sell many times over without incrementally increasing your costs to deliver that is scale. And clearly what Microsoft have here is obviously a hell of a lot of scale. So to deploy their product across 40,000 people within a week is absolutely incredible. I've got no doubt this would be happening around the world as people are working more remotely. And what impresses me is that I know once people get used to using high quality products where the value propositions are quite extreme, because at the moment I'm actually recording this within Teams. And I can also do a live webinar using Teams. I can very soon in July and August, sorry about that, that will be an email. In July of August this year, I will be able to make all my phone calls through Teams, which will very much mean that the need for me to have obviously a Telstra bill will be gone in the very near future, and obviously the cost more than likely will come down because it's all going to be based over the internet. So that's something that Microsoft is rolling out around the world at the moment, and Australia's not far off at all. That will give me the ability to record phone calls, both incoming and outgoing. So this video is really much to understand what the changes are. Once we start to use these products, we realize that the value proposition is so good, we essentially won't leave. And if Microsoft come to me and say, look, Rob, instead of charging you $20 per user per month, it's now $24, a 20% increase, I will have literally no choice but to suck it up and pay the extra money, because the value proposition is so strong. The efficiency it gives the business is fantastic. And we've gone from paying for the software once every 3, 4, 5 years. And so an upgrade cycle of 3, 4, 5 years, and paying once during that 4 or 5 year cycle, to now paying per user per month. So as we grow, we add another license on. And what I've done is I've needed more services, and I've had to upgrade the level that I pay for Office 365. So once they're there, it's very highly unlikely that this 40,000 people with SA Health will leave. So this is a huge tick for businesses like Microsoft, which is trading at $1.4 billion at the moment. They have essentially no debt and about $55 billion in cash and short-term investments in the bank. So this is obviously one of the world's largest businesses. We've also, in addition to buying Microsoft, we very much like Ripe, which is based out of Sydney, and they're a reseller of Microsoft products. So they've got a lot of the licensing and the arrangements with Microsoft to sell these cloud-based products. Now, Ripe is not a $1 trillion business, but it is probably a $300 million business. They just raised capital, so they have about $65 million of cash in the bank, and they are completely debt-free. They are branching out into Japan, and they sell all through Southeast Asia. And where these trends of people to migrate to the cloud and to use software like Microsoft, this is where we believe that Microsoft for one, and also Ripe, obviously a smaller business, potentially more upside, could be, may not be. Yeah, we believe these are very strong, businesses, and the tailwinds that are pushing them is the migration from, storing your software on your computer and having it within the cloud. And yeah, when I've explained the investment option and how we use the software, people say, "Oh, yeah, but what about backups? And do you trust Microsoft?" And I suppose the best way I've explained that in the past is that I would highly trust Microsoft more to take care of my data safely than what I can in my own office with disks and hard drive. So yeah, exceptional products, exceptional scale, high quality businesses, both Microsoft and Ripe, and I'm sure there's other resellers out there that we should find and research. But yeah, that's just a bit of a wrap up, and why I think it's a fantastic offering. And yeah, it's just amazing to think that in 1 week's time they rolled it out to 40,000 employees across South Australian health in the government sector. So amazing product, selling extremely well. Value proposition is fantastic. We've used it more than ever, and people's habits have changed now forever with a lot of home-based businesses. So products like these, become more essential. Thank you for listening. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We'll speak to you soon. Cheers.